2019 seems like it's been so long, but it's only been 6 years. However, the pre-pandemic world just seems like a whole nother life at this point. 2019 was also the last time the Portland Trail Blazers were relevant in the NBA playoffs. That year, they beat the Oklahoma City Thunder and the Denver Nuggets on their way to the Western Conference Finals, the franchise's first since the 1999-2000 season. Don't worry about what happened when they got there. The key point is that they got there, okay? But things seem to be turning around in the Pacific Northwest. Something special is brewing, and no, it's not the 759 different coffee shops littered around the city. It's these young upstart Portland Trail Blazers. Let's break down where they are now, why I like their future, and what they should do this offseason to build it up. But first, let's get into how we got here. Since their 2019 Western Conference Finals run, they have 2 first-round exits and 4 years of not even making the playoffs. Add in that they traded their 2 franchise players in CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard, the latter player being top 2 or 3 Blazer of all time and a beloved player. To say this 2024-25 squad looks different from 2019 would be a pretty huge understatement. Some would say that the Lillard-McCollum era in Portland was a disappointment, but I'm not one of those people. Those 2 captivated a city and brought back credibility to a franchise who was dying to return to their previous heights in the 90s with Clyde Drexler and the 70s with the late great Bill Walton. Winning an NBA title is not the only way to judge success and failures. What they did in Portland was a success, flat out. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if there is a Damian Lillard statue in front of the Moda Center in the future. These last 4 years, though, the team has leaned away from the success side of things and more towards the not-so-good side. But as the title of this video states, I believe things are looking up, and I mean way up for the Blazers.
Okay.
Let's start with what they have currently. Since breaking down that 2019 Western Conference title team, the Blazers have built a nice young core. They drafted starters in Scoot Henderson, Shaedon Sharpe, and Donovan Clingan, a solid rotation of players in Jabari Walker and Chris Murray, then picked up a hidden gem in Toumani Camara from Phoenix in the DeAndre Ayton trade. I can guarantee that the Suns won a mulligan on that trade. Do you think they could have used Kamara's elite defense and effort during this past dumpster fire of a season? Anyways, the Trailblazers last year then traded for a way undervalued player from the Wizards in Deni Avdija. Deni had a ton of promise coming into the 2020 draft, but was hiding away in the basketball wasteland out in the nation's capital. This past year, Deni showed he is a lot more than what was shown with the Wizards, and with the right team and organization, he can be a huge catalyst for winning basketball. That right there is a tough core of young guys, but the question is, are any of those guys a dude? You know, the kind of dude you need to compete for NBA titles, like Lillard, Drexler, and Walton of the Blazers past. That is the $100 million question. Scoot had the potential when he was drafted, but his NBA run hasn't led people to feel the same way. Is that guy still in there, and does he have the ability to reach that potential? The history of the NBA shows us do not give up on point guards drafted high. One of the best examples, you may ask, is his head coach, Chauncey Billups. I lean towards him improving, but honestly, I don't see dude potential in Scoot. In addition to the good young core, they do have some good vets with winning experience on the team to help them grow, but let's be honest, these are not key pieces on this team on the court. But they are keys to bring in more young players or assets to get that dude. Anthony Simons is a hot name this offseason, so much so that I put him in a video I made about the 3 moves I want to see. If they can get another cheaper vet, a draft pick or 2, and another young player, that would be huge for this team. Same goes for Jeremy Grant, DeAndre Ayton, and Robert Williams III. Good players that other NBA teams could use. If they could find a way to flip these vets for some assets, that would help the Blazers keep progressing their young core. This is a different style of young team for me to like. As I've said many times on this channel, you need to have a super duper star to win the title, and the problem with a super duper star is there are only so many of them and they are really hard to find. I would usually go for young teams that already have that guy, or a young guy who is close to making that leap, also known as Detroit with Cade Cunningham, but I'm making an exception here. As I said above, I don't think they currently have that guy. I truly believe they have everything else though. Getting that dude will push all these young guys to their natural position, so the question becomes, how does this team get that needed super duper star? Well, one way is free agency, but in reality, this is not an option for the Blazers. They don't have the cap space, and as great of a city that Portland is, it's not an NBA player destination, so that leaves two options that are linked: trade or draft that guy. And they do those the same way: trade their older players for assets. Those assets are draft picks, or they target a young player being underutilized and hope he hits. You know, just like how the Oklahoma City Thunder did with the current NBA MVP in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Now, if this team can strike gold by finding their dude, or by Scoot cashing in all that potential and hype from the pre-draft process, then they are going to be a force in the Western Conference again. Whether they find their super duper star or not, this team is young, talented, and on the rise to restore this storied franchise back to relevance, and I can't wait to watch it all go down. Do you want to know about another team who is trending up and bringing their franchise back from the bottom of the league to an Eastern Conference contender? Check out this video on Detroit Pistons and their super duper star, Cade Cunningham. Make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't already to keep bringing you high quality content like this. That really helps grow the channel. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.